Johnny?
What's up, Andrew? We are the Cavalry. We are starting.
We sound like little dorks in a playhouse. We are the Cavalry.
I don't know. I think
Hear
we sound
us.
we sound like cool dudes.
Oh, I forgot. We're such cool dudes. Anyway, Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is the Cavalry, where we need backup on our many problems in life. By the way, just a heads up, if you guys ever need backup in your lives, please rate, review, and leave a comment. Leave a comment with what you need backup on in your life, and we'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah, as long as it's a 5-star review, we will.
Yeah, that's all we're asking. Yeah, it has to be nice. You can't be mean.
Yeah, it can't be like, you guys suck. Hey, can you help me? My wife always makes me do the dishes.
Yeah, we would not respond well to that. So anyway, how you doing, Johnny? Good?
I'm good. I'm getting the feeling. I'm feeling this. I'm not anti-quarantine, but I'm getting a little sick of it. It's getting it's been a little long.
Dude, I feel it in the air, because everyone's like, oh, look at the Ozarks. They're people aren't being socially responsible in the Ozarks, Yeah. And then so we all like to pretend it's just them. But man, I'm here in Portland, Oregon, very socially conscious, liberal place. And I feel it too. There's people around, out and about. There's more cars on the road. It's cracking.
Oh yeah. We had I think we make these little lies to justify to ourselves that we're still social distancing. Like we had a backyard camp out in our backyard, and we had our neighbor friends that live like on the street behind us. They came over too, and we're like, well, we'll social distance, and we have kids, they have kids, everyone's wrestling. It's like, all right, we're not social distancing, but we have like an unspoken agreement. Yeah, wrestling, that's a low risk.
Very difficult to socially distance while wrestling. There's very few holds you can do from 6 feet away.
Right. But so we have this agreement where it's like if we like go see family or we go in the outside world, then we can't hang out for 2 weeks. We have to we break the circle.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. We do this thing where we go to a place and then we complain about all the people at that place. We're like, what is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? Everybody's out at this exact same location we went to. They're so irresponsible.
You just stand up. Us. Shame on you people. Right. Shame on all of you.
We went to this, we thought would be remote river kind of beach area outside of Portland a little bit. And we've had success. Sometimes we go and it's remote. And it is remote. We go to this to be in nature and there is no one there. And we're like, oh, we did good. We went to this one, and man, it was like packed. And we got there immediately, and we're like, oh no, we're going to be one of those people in a photo that goes viral on the internet, and they're going to zoom in and they're going to dox us. And then we're going to get
comedian Andrew Slater ignoring quarantine guidelines.
Yeah, so we did a courtesy walk up and down and got the hell out of there. But yeah, it's cracking. We tried. This virus is just persistent. It's got more commitment than we do.
I know,
it's just better prepared.
Taking too long.
The virus just wanted it more. Both teams played hard, but when it came down to it, the virus was hungrier than we were. So we're gonna have to give up. But what we're not gonna give up on
is backing each other up on the Cavalry.
Woo! What do you got this week, Johnny?
We are so in sync. Okay, so I'll just start with the big one. This is ridiculous. I don't know if I told you this off the podcast, but I was with you when our refrigerator broke down.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
At the end we were on a cruise, and I got a call from my wife or email or whatever. And I was like, hey, the refrigerator is totally dead. All of the food, I just did a Costco run. Everything's blah, blah, blah. So we need a fridge right away. And I'm on a ship with Andrew. I was like, all right, well, look around, get whatever you want and, find it, whatever can get it there fastest. So she called all the places that she thought of. and Menards.
Sears. That's the one. Sears
That's
would
the
have
one
come.
to do.
Yeah, I'm from the 80s, but yeah, Sears comes to mind. I've never bought a
Is,
fridge.
is Sears still in
I
business?
almost certainly not. They
Oh,
certainly
okay.
aren't going to survive the
The
plague here.
COVID.
Yeah.
So I don't know all the places she called, but she's like, all right, I got one at Menard. I called Menards, and they have, one. They can deliver it the Monday you get back or whatever. I don't know when it was. I was like, okay, fine. So we, whatever. She opened up a card and paid for it, no interest, 6 months, whatever. And then I get back the day that it's supposed to be delivered. We get notified, oh, there was a screw up or something with the delivery. It's going to be another week. And I'm like, look, we got, a baby, we got 3 kids. We ordered this whenever, blah, we need it. All right, just cancel the order. Just cancel it, called the delivery company, like cancel, send it back to wherever we were told today. So then, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to just call these places. I find the exact same one at Best Buy, $300 cheaper, next day delivery. And I was like, what? She's like, I didn't know Best Buy had refrigerators.
It's weird that I used to work at Best Buy, and I used to walk by the fridges going, it's weird that we sell these. I mean, they're technically electronic, but like you don't think of them, It's like, who's going to come here who's going to go to Best Buy to buy a fridge? So I'm glad that you did that.
The Beaners.
The Beaners.
That was my first call too. And I was so confused. I was like, wait, how is it? They told me like, it's no problem getting it the next day. And
that's because they've never sold a fridge before. That's why they were so excited. Like, finally.
They have people waiting to deliver. Like, what? Someone called us? So they deliver it. And so, whatever. I'm, Menards cancel the order, blah, blah, blah. And then, and meanwhile, Erin is like, while I'm going through all this, she's like, just make sure you're able to cancel it. Just make sure you're able to cancel it before you get the new one. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And it's fine. They screwed up. It's fine. I dare them to not let me cancel the order. They screwed it, Well, wouldn't you know it? Menards has a restocking fee of 25%. Now, 25% of a refrigerator that is to my wife's liking is a lot of money. So, I mean, this is like, I think, $675 or something is on this credit card. And so I'm just like, and they're fighting. I was like, well, I understand you have a ridiculously high restocking fee, but this is not my fault because on the day it was quoted to be delivered, you guys or the company you used to deliver it screwed up. So we're refusing to pay. And I think I'm right. They should should take it off.
Of course you're right. And first of all, restocking fee, I guarantee it never even got off the freaking shelves, when it's something, when it's not like you're ordering it from China or something. It's in the state of Wisconsin somewhere. So why would it take 3 weeks? That means they just didn't have it on. So you're not restocking it. No one's putting it back.
And the thing, like, I think they know this happens and they avoid battle because so she ordered it online, which is Menards online is totally separate from Menards going in the store. Like, I called the store because there's literally no way to get a hold of anybody to talk to about this issue. You have to go to the Menards website and fill out the form and then hit submit. And then you get all right, great. We've received it. Someone will be in contact with you. And then they all, and then Susan writes back, oh, I'm so sorry to hear about your experience. Yeah, we do have a restocking fee of 25%. That's what the charge is. I'd be happy to help you with anything else. And, it's like, I need to talk to a person. And
so you can't get anyone on the phone?
Can't get anyone. And I will write her over and over these people through the form. And they're like, well, this isn't a call center, so we can't take calls or make calls. That's why. So I ended up doing a little detective work. I called the credit card company. Capital One does it. It handles the Menards card. And so far, this is just a hilarious topic, I can tell. And
No, I love it.
and they're like, all right, we're gonna put a hold on the charge. And I was like, all right, we're getting somewhere. And then the next day, they're like, oh, we spoke with Menards. They have a restocking fee, so everything's back. We're back and
That's
going.
that's so frustrating too, because the credit card companies always just take the side of the business. As long as it's like, oh, we have a bullshit fee. Oh, okay, that explains everything. So
Exactly.
I would have just said someone opened the credit card not in our name. Just
And
reported the
ordered-
whole thing as
and
fraudulent.
ordered a refrigerator
Yeah,
to us.
some crazy pirates or something from Nigeria ordered a fridge in my name. We didn't need a fridge that we bought a week later at Best Buy.
Yeah, that probably happens all the time with those Nigerian
all the time.
pirates.
This makes me think Menards is in trouble in the big scheme of things. Like, how are they going to compete with the Amazons of the world with this terrible customer service?
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't mind. I don't mind watching them.
What a bunch of
what they
Menards.
deserve. Thank
Do people
you.
ever say that?
I'm gonna start. I'll tell you that.
They're so Menarded. Menards is such a Midwestern sounding department. It's just a department store, right? They don't have those
it's
everywhere.
like a Home Depot. It's like a Home Depot. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh, it is
before?
I have heard of it. I don't know if it's just because I do the road a lot, and I remember the jingle kind of.
Save big money at Menards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? The boycott is on. I'm going to back you up.
Oh, and I tweeted too. I was like,
oh, you tweeted at him?
Oh, yeah, of course I did. Don't use Menards. They're terrible. Their customer service is terrible. They have, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Yeah, just don't pay the credit card.
Well, that's what I said I'm going to do. And, Capital One was like, well, that is up to you. I mean, you will be sent to collections and it will affect your credit. But that is an option you have.
Yeah, you got a house,
Okay.
You got kids.
Yeah.
Just wait out. You got to wait 8 years?
7 years, I think.
7 years? That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing to beat Menards. Menards might not be in business in 7 years, so I would wait it out.
That's true.
I think you're good.
It's on.
How is the Best Buy fridge? Has it been working well?
Oh, it's good. It's good. Actually, It's good. I sent a picture to my brother of it when it got installed. Be like, hey, check out the new fridge. And he was like, oh, is it supposed to have that ding in the middle? I was like, what?
Oh, no.
Look at the picture. There's a big dent in the middle. And I was like, oh my God. And they scuffed up the walls and, me and my attention to detail. So I didn't see any of it. And Aaron's like, what? How did you even watch them come in? How did you miss it? Because they banged into the wall and all this, but I already spackled it. So I called them. I was like, well, nothing's going to happen. They delivered it. They left. I should have been like, hey, what the heck is that, guys? But I didn't. I was like, this is awesome. Thanks, guys. And
whoa, it's cold.
This thing gets cold. Thanks, boys. And
freezer and fridge in one.
My wife knows how to pick them.
Truly is a Best Buy.
Thanks, boys. That's how anytime anyone delivers, I always like to say that. All right, thanks, boys. So I called and I was like, yeah, there's a ding. And she's like, oh, okay. Well, you can get 10% back or we'll replace it. And so we got the black stainless steel one, which is the one we wanted, but they didn't have it in stock. And so they're like, well, you can just hang on to that one. And then when we get the black one, we'll give it to you. So now we have the black one. It's a great. Best Buy is the greatest.
A commercial for Best Buy.
It really is. And I am so happy.
Yeah.
I just wish this, I wish that this, I
Menards
wish it
is gonna
sounded,
feel this.
yeah, I wish it sounded worse for Menards than how good it sounds for Best Buy.
No, it does sound terrible for Menards. I will never shop there.
Thank you.
Menards is out.
So you're not going to travel. You won't travel to the Midwest to buy your appliances from now on.
I won't break the quarantine to go shop at Menards. Although what we should do is I should just start calling them every day. Like, hey, do you guys deliver to Portland, Oregon? I know you don't have a store 1,000
And then when they
miles.
say no, when they say no, just start tweeting, complaining about that fact.
What a bunch of horse shit.
Boycott Menards. They won't deliver to.
Well, I'm sorry, dude, but
thank you.
Best Buy.
Best Buy.
That's the way to go.
Oh.
All right. Well, I got something for you. I think, but anyway,
Yeah.
first of all, of course, 100% back up. Who wouldn't back somebody up on
I
a
don't
customer
know.
service complaint?
I feel like that's a stupid one because the only
No,
person
no,
that
no.
wouldn't back me up is a Menards employee or someone that has stock in Menards.
Get it off your chest. That would be an annoying dude. But, well, actually, dude, it actually is tough for them to restock those fridges. And I think you should think about that before you go half cocked on Twitter. They're just doing their job. Don't you love those people? They're just doing their jobs. It's a tough job. They have to deal with a lot of people. Yeah, I know, but this is inconveniencing me.
Right. This is me. I'm not talking about them. I don't care about them. They
Right.
are
I'm doing
employees of
my
an
job.
outside company.
Yeah. Their job is to screw me. My job is to complain. Everybody's doing their job.
Right. And your job is to be an annoying idiot
Right.
that supports
your
the
job
company.
is to make me question why we're friends.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
right.
100% with you.
Great. I feel all warm inside. I knew I'd get your support. All right. What do you got? What do you got? My turn. My turn to return the favor. I can't wait.
I've got two kind of silly ones today, so I hope that you can back me up on this.
I will.
The first one, I see, and now I know you're not a big sports fan.
I don't know anything about sports, but go on.
Right. But
that doesn't mean I can't back you up.
Exactly.
Watch this.
And I am a big sports fan, big Seattle Seahawks fan. I have been my whole life. And I sometimes when
that's
you're a sports
football,
fan,
right?
Oh God. Sometimes No, we were talking about, this is so funny because I was working out in the yard today with my brother-in-law, and he was like, you know what? He was sad about the XFL. You remember the XFL? They got canceled again.
They did?
They tried it again this year,
again, okay.
right before COVID. They have bad luck, the XFL. It's almost like if they try it a third time, it's going to be so funny. But we were talking about the XFL, and he was saying some player who played, and I go, oh yeah, didn't he play for the Seattle squad? And I was like, oh my God, I sound like the worst sports fan ever when you don't know the name of the team. Oh yeah, he plays for the Chicago team, right? Sounds so lame. But anyway,
you try to hide it by saying team.
Right,
the
team,
Chicago
squad.
Guys.
Yeah, the Chicago 9. But I sometimes when you're a big sports fan, I have the Seattle Seahawks like I am. Mm-hmm. You have to compromise moral stances you may have in your life in order to still root for the team, because it's a big group of players from all sorts of different backgrounds, and not all of them are going to be altar boys, or is that about what is the word you use now for
non-rapists? Is that where
right?
We're going?
They're not all going to be non-rapists. No, but that actually alludes to what I'm going to get to. But so we had the Seahawks traded for this player, and he Quentin Dunbar is his name. He's a cornerback guy we really knew.
Sure.
You know him.
Nope, never heard that name before.
He was involved during the quarantine in a armed robbery of a party. So he went with another player from the Giants, and they went down in Florida. And I don't know if it was their friends or what, but they stuck up this party with assault rifles and robbed a bunch of people. Allegedly.
Thank you. Okay.
So I was like, God damn it. And Heidi, my wife, and there's like, what, what's going on? Oh, this guy, the Seahawks just got him, and now we traded for him, and now he's like getting in trouble. He might not
before
be able to
he's
play
even
this
played.
Year. Yeah, he hasn't played it down for the Seahawks. And somehow he does this during the quarantine. He's like, one thing to break quarantine to go to the beach. This guy's breaking quarantine to rob an illegal party. Actually, it's kind of like Robin Hood, because they shouldn't have been having a party when you think about it.
That's true. That's good way to look at it.
So my thing is, and also, so then he gets this lawyer, and the lawyer somehow magically the next day gets this sworn affidavit from like everybody who was a victim saying that Quentin Dunbar wasn't involved. So they just all reversed it's real gangster stuff. They all reversed their testimony like in one day. Mm-hmm. And I was celebrating this news. I was like, yeah, oh yeah, he might get off of this thing,
Okay.
And
let me ask you this. Let me back up.
Sure.
If everyone's saying he wasn't involved, how did he get in trouble in the first place? Because they initially said, oh, that was him, and then they changed their thing?
I think there may, again, allegedly, this is just me speculating, there may be some shenanigans involved with getting people to change their statements.
Okay.
Right? Who knows, though?
So he was fingered initially. Well,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Fingered. Yeah, he was fingered pretty good there.
Okay.
How long did they use the term fingered before that became more a sexual? There must have been like a paradigm shift where it was like fingered meant accused for a long time, and then the sex act took over the main. Anyway,
they just too many people in the interrogation room were giggling, and the cops were like, "We got to get to the bottom of this. Why is everyone giggling all of a sudden?"
Yeah, we need a different word for this. But yeah, so they unfingered him.
Okay, so they
fingered
pulled their finger out.
They pulled their finger back. They reclaimed the finger.
Sure.
And so I'm celebrating this. I'm like, this is good news because he might get to play if there is a season. He might get to play, and that's good for the Seahawks, right? And she's like, "Oh, that's terrible. You can't root for if he's guilty. You can't be excited for him to beat this charge." And this is what I would posit. This is what I need backup on. I think it's okay in any situation that's not domestic violence, murder, or anything in the sexual assault family.
Okay.
To root for just a good lawyer and your guy to get off if he's on your team, right? If he's on the team you root for.
Right.
All these other crimes, like, yes, they're serious in the real world context. Nobody would want to be held up at gunpoint. But
no one got hurt.
No one got hurt.
That's actually very responsible of this Dunbar guy.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
No one got hurt.
Yeah.
It's really a victim. If you don't count the victims, it's a victimless crime.
Yeah. Aside from exactly.
No, but like, okay, but those are the three. Those are the three I would say. Okay, I would have trouble rooting for these guys.
Well, what were the three? Murder,
anything
sexual
domestic assault, like family stuff or violence against women by a man, whatever.
Right.
And anything in the sexual assault family. Any other crime.
Okay. I'm racking my brain trying to think of what would need to be added to that list, and I'm coming up short.
Right? Because like the Seahawks had another guy the year before guilty of insider trading, and then they just kept pushing the case down the road. Yeah. And I was like, of course. I'm going to
that's
what do I care?
Yeah.
Insider trading, the Congress does that. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. Okay.
It's bulletproof,
of course.
right?
I think it's fine. Yeah. I think it's totally fine. I hope he does it again.
Yeah. And if he gets away with it, why wouldn't he?
Right, exactly.
Why wouldn't he just keep robbing people?
It's double jeopardy, right?
It's actually genius because you rob. Yeah, it's double jeopardy if you just commit the same crime. No, this is I like that. Like a guy just totally confused on what double jeopardy means. He makes a string of arsons. He's like, no, but I got off on the last. No, it's the exact same. It's not the type of crime.
Or he doesn't even get caught the first time. He's like, no, it doesn't. I got away with it when I did it down in Lincoln.
Double jeopardy. Double jeopardy. Double jeopardy. You can't do that.
Put the phone down. I already did this.
Yeah. So that's actually genius though, because if you rob a bunch of people and then the accumulation of money is so much that you can pay them off more than what you rob them of. Is the math work on this?
Yeah, it doesn't at all.
No, and you can get them to change their statements.
Money, yeah.
Somebody's losing money.
I mean, especially if they all change their statements. It might make sense if a couple people gave $10 and then were robbed $10 and a bunch of people were robbed like $1,000 and then he pooled it and divided it evenly back. Then
and the guy who got $1,000 like, well, I'm not going to be the only one. I mean, he lost $1,000. He only got like $100 back.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm not going to be the only one who accuses this guy, and everybody else has turned on me.
Everyone else that has my money.
Right. They're not going to change their minds. This is like income redistribution of wealth. I got that out. I can't believe I got that phrase.
I'm very proud of you.
I was really struggling there at the end. But, okay, so you're with me on that.
Of course.
Athletes, it's okay to root for him as long as it's not in the big three.
Athletes should be robbing people. I agree.
Yeah. And again, he's a rich man, so I'm not sure. It's like, why would you need?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, wait a minute. He's a football player in the NFL. He's about to get what? At least $1 million a year. I don't know how much they get paid.
More millions. Yeah.
Why would he rob a party?
I got it. This is what it is, right? And he did give all the money back. It's like big game fishing or whatever, where you just throw back the fish. You do it for the sport of it. So he's just robbing people for the sport of it. And then when he gets caught, he gives all the money back and gets them to change their statements.
So this is all just a big game for him.
Yeah, he's bored. Quarantine. It's like, let's go down to Florida and rob our friends.
It was in Florida?
I think so, yes.
Oh, see, I thought maybe it was in Seattle. And they're like, well, I'll change my story because I want my team to win.
No. Yeah, Seattle, I wouldn't trust that in Seattle. A bunch of narcs. I'm from Seattle, trust me.
You ever out like, and you're just, with a sea of like, you're out at, the grocery store or whatever, and there's a sea of masks, and you're just like, you could very easily just turn into a robber and no one would even see it coming because you got the mask on the whole time.
Oh, I thought about it the other day. I went to Whole Foods and I was trying to return a candle. I was trying to return.
That's such a thug robber thing to do.
I know, but I bought this my wife wanted candles, and I bought this. I didn't smell them closely enough. Plus, when you're buying candles in the COVID era, you can't pick them up and shove them to your face and put them. You kind of just have to buy them and hope that it's the smell.
That it's not the fart one.
Yeah, so I got a real fart one, and it was just horrible,
What was it called?
Like a sandalwood and something else. It smelled like Axe body spray. Is what it smelled like. It smelled like a horny teenage kid in our living room. So I was like, and we didn't light it, and I had the receipt, and I just returned something else to Lowe's. So I was like, well, why couldn't I take it back?
How much was the restocking fee of this candle?
Dude, even worse. They wouldn't even take the candle. They wouldn't even take it back because they were like, no, because of COVID-19, we can't do any returns. I'm like, it's just this big. Wipe it down. It takes 2 seconds to wipe it down, but they wouldn't take it back. So then I thought, oh, I'm going to steal something else to make up for but I didn't. So that you're
no Henry Dunbar or whatever the hell his name
Quentin Dunbar.
Quentin, sorry.
Don't insult the man. He'll come and rob you of your new fridge. Okay, so you're with me though. You can root for athletes. If you're out there, if you've ever had a moral quandary, if it's not the big three, we're not worried about drugs. We're not worried about armed robbery. That's okay. No. Insider trading, of course, is fine.
Yeah, it's encouraged.
Arson. I mean, if they're very careful that nobody was in the place, I think arson is okay.
Yeah, if it doesn't turn into murder.
Yeah. If nobody, it's a results game, right? If it's arson and no one gets hurt, then it's fine.
Did you know that there's did you ever do Morty's in Indianapolis, the comedy club?
Yeah. Not like a full weekend there. I think I just was passing through and did like one show there one time.
It has passed hands. It's done now, but one of the I think original, was that your light?
I just knocked my light over. Sorry, everybody. We have an emergency.
Technical difficulties.
All right.
But the manager of the club is in jail. I don't know where he is now, but he tried to rob a bank. He went into a bank and tried to rob a bank. He was fired from Morty's previous to that for embezzling money. I just thought that was interesting when you brought up robbing.
Yeah, no, robbing a bank is so funny, and it gets to your thing with Menards. My dad is a banker, and this is his big thing all the time. He's like, he doesn't understand people who rob banks because he's like, how much are you going to get? In this.
I don't know how much do they get?
Couple $1,000 maybe, because you're not going to have time to rob the vault.
Yeah.
Because the cops will come. So you're going to get whatever's in the till. And maybe if you're good, you get every till on the row or whatever. And he's like, the most you're going to get is a couple $1,000. He's like, instead, why wouldn't you just go open up a bunch of credit cards, as many as you can from a bunch of different banks, buy up like jewelry or gold, whatever, hide that, and then just cancel all the cards or never pay them back and declare bankruptcy, and you're free. You didn't even commit a crime. And you got way more money. You could get like 10,000, way more than you can get out of robbing a bank.
The Cavalry offers so much more than just support.
Right?
Financial advice.
It's like with your Menards thing. You could have got a free fridge if you really wanted to, if you're willing to wait the 7 or 8 years. Money is just an idea. It's not even real. That's the kind. We need to get our podcast.
Is Allison off camera here?
We need to get our podcast into the conspiracy territory.
I know.
To
I
get
think
more
she can help us.
Yeah, it'd be much more popular. No. So anyway, yeah, there's no crime. I've really thought, I've done my due diligence. They can commit any crime other than those three, and I'm still a fan.
Yes, and I'll be a fan of that squad as well.
Okay, good. All right, what do you got next?
All right, so my next one is. All right, so I this is just me. I need support because this is my behavior since I've been able to make my own money and buy things like in high school. I'll buy the same movie over and over when they come out with, the deluxe, the theatrical. If it's like, because I was a huge Jim Carrey fan, so like I got, 3 different versions of the VHS of Dumb and Dumber, and then it comes out on DVD, so I got to get that. And my brother like teases me all the time, like that's just so stupid. And I don't think it's stupid. I mean, now that everything's digital, it's not so much.
It's dumber now, but yeah, like I remember when DVD commentaries first became a thing. I was like blown away by that, and so I had to have, if I really liked a movie, I had to have the DVD commentary.
Right, even if you already had the VHS.
Yeah. And then I love The Big Lebowski, so I would buy any updated version of The Big Lebowski, and I got one time, and it claimed it had a DVD commentary, but it was from like the Coen brothers would never do that. The filmmakers, they're too like artsy for that. So then it was just 2 people vaguely related to them. It was such a disappointment. And then
it was the Coen brothers buddies.
Right. They were like, it was the Property Brothers. and then it came with like coasters inside and like a bowling rag, and it was like some really corny shit that came.
But you got it.
But I got it. I paid for it, so I'm with you.
Yeah.
And
so
then,
go
ahead.
Okay. So all right. So that's part one of this, and I already have your support because you've obviously done it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then it kind of morphed into. So I'll see. This is actually a totally different one, I guess. But I'll see. They could reboot Spider-Man annually, and I will see it because I just love Spider-Man and origin stories, and I just think it's interesting. I'm not going to say that the Andrew Garfield ones weren't, awful. I mean, even if they're awful, I enjoy watching them the first time.
So would you rather, okay, so like people think the Spider-Man movie where it was like animated and it was the
Spider-Verse?
Yeah. You saw that one?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, that was like considered the best one, right? Or the best reviewed one?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Did you enjoy? Which one is your favorite? Let me put it this way: which one is your favorite Spider-Man?
I just
of all time.
Like person that played it?
No, just movie.
Either Spider-Man, either Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 1 or Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2. Play Spider-Man 2.
So if Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire,
yes,
would you rather have seen the sequel or just another reboot with Tobey Maguire? If they just just did it again, pretending like the first one didn't happen, and just did it again
with Tobey Maguire?
Yeah, with Tobey Maguire. And just like, fuck it, we're not gonna even continue the story? Just like, let's do it again. That's everybody's favorite part, where he turns into a spider or whatever happens. And so do that.
I would want to see that. I don't know. I can't say that I would want to see it. Like most people would be like, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard," but I would want to see it. I'm not saying I would
Yeah.
want to see that more than like continuing the story and seeing sequels, but I'd love to see that. It'd be great. I
No,
mean, it'd be kind of
because
weird. Same director, same actors,
just try it
whatever.
again. They
Yeah,
should do that more. They should just go, yeah, that was pretty good, but I think we could just knock it out.
just
Like a
like they
different
did,
story.
like they did with Psycho with Vince Vaughn. Just the same script, same camera angles. Just
Right.
again, though. Oh
Just
man,
do
we are
we're
having
having a lot
chord
of
issues here.
loose cords are called the union. No, but I think like I'm a sucker for reboots. So like with Batman, for instance, I'll go see the Batman. You know, it's like we're doing it again with the parents. His parents were murdered again.
Uh-huh.
You know, he's in the dark again, and then he goes and learns karate again. But I love it, and I'm the same way. The first one's always the best one, and then the
Yeah.
sequels are like fine. But
What did
the,
you think of the Ben Affleck those ones?
yeah, well, see, then that I felt cheated because he never really even did his own. They screwed it up with all these other characters I don't care about, like
They didn't do like
Superman and
they didn't do well. I guess they kind of did an origin story, right? But it's more like
a little bit when the Superman versus Batman,
yeah,
which was so bad. But then the Batman parts I liked because they did do a little bit. Like he's in a cave. His
yeah.
butler helps him. You know, it's a very fun story. He falls down. He gets
See,
back
like
up.
you even said, that's a bad movie. I agree. Yes, objectively, that's a bad movie. But
Right.
the first time I saw it, it was it was a blast. I loved watching it because it's like, oh my gosh, this is a Batman movie
Yeah.
and Superman. I mean, I've been waiting for the rumored Batman and Superman together movie since forever.
Right.
And like I mean, and then it was over, and I was like, "Oh man, oh yeah, that was pretty bad." But like, I've
But who
probably
cares?
seen it 5 times
Right.
since, just because I like watching superheroes.
Right. Well, I like I think you're onto something about just the origin story so much better. But then it's funny because then like the Batman, they're making another Batman with
Yeah,
another guy, and this one they're like, oh, it's gonna be so dark. It's gonna be darker. I feel like they say that for every
right.
superhero movie, or this one's gonna be really dark. And it's like, how much darker are they gonna get?
Yeah.
You know, they're already like his parents are
His
dead.
parents are being murdered.
Right. It's pretty dark.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you on that. And then the other, I just wanted to go back to DVDs though. But I remember when DVDs first came out, and there was all these features. You know, the DVD commentary, that's a big one. But then there were other features too. They tried to sell you on the multiple camera angle because they have like different camera angles. You can select different angles on the DVD. And in my head, I was so stupid as a kid and very excited.
Uh-huh.
I would think there were scenes in movies where like a woman takes her shirt off, but then they show her from the back, and I was so dumb. I thought the DVD was telling me I could like somehow get an angle from the other side. And I really thought that was going to work.
That would have sold a lot. If that was the case, that would sell a lot more DVDs.
What a betrayal too of the actresses who
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're like, wait a minute.
Wait a second. What are you doing with this movie I made 15 years ago?
Do I get a cut of this extra DVD money?
I don't know if I ever heard of that. So what is it in reality? What does it end up being?
Was people. I need backup on this, but someone out there would remember. It was like they sold this thing where you could select. That was like one of the features. You could select different camera angles. So I assume like maybe there was some half-assed attempt to put in other cuts, like if other edits of it or something, and then you could like take other angles or something. But the DVD features really fell off the map because like now no one still do like director's commentaries and stuff? Is that even
yeah?
still
Like
thing?
I got because I got Joker on iTunes, and the whatever the special or bonus, whatever they call it, extra features is the guy Todd Phillips talking about it, and it's like super interesting. But yeah, you have to buy the HD
so they still
version.
do it.
Yeah, they still do it.
I just haven't bought a movie, and so
Yeah, I remember like
Go so
DVDs,
long.
like what they would sell, like, oh, this comes to, one of the bonus features was the trailer. Oh, I can watch the commercial for the movie in my hand.
Yeah, they really had to stretch on those bonus features.
And there's so
Now,
many like of those DVDs and like that where it's like, additional footage, and it's literally,
yeah.
2.5 minutes of
Oh,
just nothing.
or alternate endings. Remember alternate
Yeah.
endings? And then it was just some like grainy cell phone camera footage of like
Yeah.
a guy not going. There's just no ending to it or something.
It still has the numbers in the corner that hasn't
Yeah,
been
yeah, yeah.
processed yet.
There's never been a satisfying alternate ending feature.
Yeah.
We should start doing a podcast with DVD features. So
Yeah.
we could have alternate endings. We could have director's commentary underneath.
We could just do the commentary.
We could do it right now. Oh, here I was thinking how stupid Johnny is. Whoops.
Whoops. It'll be like VidAngel for movies, where we release it before the movie actually comes out. But we're offering it with our commentary, so it's different. It's like a unique product.
This is very unique. But yeah, I guess I'm with you. I'm with you on the DVD. Although now it's tough because I can't say that I buy movies really anymore. But then if like they did like a special edition of Big Lebowski or something, and then there was a Coen Brothers commentary, I would buy that for sure. I would buy that. So
it's funny you say that because me and Aaron literally watched that last week.
Oh, really?
Lebowski, yeah.
Do you both like it?
She hadn't seen it in forever. I hadn't seen it in forever. However, I saw it like I think on the cruise I did before the one with you. I had watched it for the first time in forever.
Yeah.
And the part where the guy, he writes something on a pad when he's on the phone and then he leaves is the funniest. Like, that's one of the funniest things ever.
It's just so funny. It's abstract.
It's a guy.
So he's like a private detective, and then he's trying to figure out what this guy just wrote on a pad. So he does that pencil wipe thing, so it copies
on the page behind what he wrote on.
And then it's just a dude with a giant dick. It's like, what was that phone call where he just doodled the guy with the giant dick? Yeah, that's a great scene.
That was great.
Okay, I have a kind of a silly one here at the
end. All
right,
but you're up.
I thought I had the other day. I thought I had like the most genius idea, but nobody seems to think it's as smart as I do. Because I read this article in New York Times. It was like the end of meat. And because with COVID-19 on these meat packing plants, and there's like factory farming, and there's way more vegetarians now. So there's like kind of this push for people to stop eating meat. I know, Johnny, don't worry. There's still hot dogs. I promise. Don't get upset. But
okay.
I had what I thought was like the most genius solution, where you could still eat meat, but never kill an animal. And I'm not talking about fake meat. I'm talking about real meat. You could.
I think. Have you? This has been.
I told you this idea before.
Yeah, well, you might have told me this on the ship, but I want to hear it.
Okay.
I'm sure I supported you then. I'm going to support you again.
You only take from the animal. So if I was selling chicken wings, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would only take one wing from each chicken, and then you just leave the chicken. So you just have a bunch of like maimed, not maimed, but like we do it surgically. We would do it humanely.
Of course.
We just cut off a wing and then let the chicken be a chicken the rest of its life, or lay eggs or whatever it's going to do.
Yeah.
And then you have the meat. You could take cows. You could just take like one leg or the back two legs, and then put like wheels, like dogs,
I've never heard a more humane thing in my life.
Well, no, come on, be serious. I'm serious. I think that this is like a good ramp down, because if the future is no one eats meat and it's barbaric and we're all going to eat like, some sort of meat replacement, it's going to take a while to get there, right? Mm-hmm. So we need a transition. I feel like
in the meantime,
just cut off of the animal enough to get like the meal and then leave the rest of the animal alone. And then,
Yes, I fully support you. I think it's great. I think I'm excited for it. On an unrelated note, have you seen the movie Platform on Netflix?
no.
Okay, well, here's the gist of it. It's basically a platform lowers, it's a prison that's like all these different floors, and a platform comes down, and it's tons of food, like gourmet food at the top. And it's 230 floors or however many floors, and just goes down, and it stops on each floor, and the two people on each floor eat whatever they can, and then it goes down to the bottom, and you wake up. I don't know. You wake up on different floors, whatever. But there's a scene where these two guys that are prisoners together wake up on the bottom floor, and one of them is all tied up, and you're going to die if you don't eat. And if you're in the bottom floor, you don't get any food because it always comes down empty. And so what he does is he does exactly what you're saying to the other prisoner. He keeps him alive and just shaves off slivers of meat and eats the other. So that's kind of where my mind went.
This is a one-time chop. This is a humane, because that's what my friend. So I didn't get any backup from everybody I've pitched this to, because I'm
backing
Mike,
you up. I'm backing you up.
Appreciate that. But my friend Mike was like, no, that's worse than just killing. It's more humane just to kill the animal than to take its arm or wing. But I was like, well, if you came to me and you're like, I'm either going to shoot you in the head or cut off your arm, you can have my arm, right?
Yes. I think you're ignoring the option of just let me live. Don't eat anything or cut anything off.
Right. But most people aren't willing to give up meat.
Right.
In America. And this would obviously, it would cost a little more because we've got to pay our surgeons. We've got to pay for the prosthetics for the animals afterward. But people will pay a premium to know every like chicken wing or rib I eat. I don't know if you could do ribs. Do you think you could do rib? They took a rib out of Adam to make Eve. I don't know if you can do it. And then Marilyn Manson took ribs out. But I don't think
that was
his own. Yeah. Let's not go on a tangent about that.
But you do bring up a good point of I didn't even think about the expenses. It's a lot more expensive to put a chicken in a little wheelchair than to kill it.
Yeah. But also, okay, so additional revenue stream. One, people are going to pay a premium to know they're eating meat that didn't result in the death of an animal. Two, we can sell like petting zoo type. People are going to want to see these animals, and play with them. And they're like, oh, this is, they need support because they've had this surgery, so they can go and pet the animals, take pictures like Tiger King.
I can't tell if you're serious.
No, I mean, I'm not like,
or not.
Like, I don't think there's actually going to be a petting zoo with like disabled animals.
Okay.
But that is a cute picture. Like, people would travel, I think, to take that picture of a cow. If you think of a cow with no back legs, but just like wheels, like those dogs have those things. I think people would want to pay something to take a picture with that cow.
I would, if I was driving by like on a highway and that was like the exit I happened to be passing and there was a billboard. I was like, get your picture with this weird cow.
Well, Johnny, it's not weird.
But I wouldn't go.
It's given its legs for.
It didn't get its legs were taken.
Well, yeah. No, that's true. That's true. I don't want to get in trouble with animal rights people. I'm trying to build a bridge between a meat-eating society and a meatless society.
Yeah, you're trying to do the middle ground, like ease the transition or aid the transition.
It's kind of like that King Solomon thing where they cut the baby in half. Okay, I'll just cut it in half.
Yeah.
And then the one person's like, no, you can just have the baby. Except I'm actually cutting the baby in half.
Right. They change the story or they're like, no, just let her have it. And you're like, no. Once I say I'm going to do something, I am doing it.
Hey, don't give me notes. I didn't ask for notes.
I don't tell you how to do your job.
You came to me. Okay, you had a problem. You came to me. This is the solution. I don't hear a bunch of bullshit. Oh, no, actually, he can have it. You're taking your half. He's taking his half. That's the king. That's the the King Solomon with the attitude. No, but so I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't work with like cows is kind of an extreme example, but I do think chicken wings. There's got to be a quick and easy way to just cut
Hack
off the
off the
chicken
wing.
wing and then let the chicken live the rest of its life. And again, if it were me and I was given two choices, this isn't like, oh, well, why wouldn't you just take option 3? There is no option 3. Death or give an arm, I'm giving the arm. I'm not shaving off a piece of skin. That sounds horrific, but I'm saying
Right.
one time, cut off the arm, and then we, bandage it up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Are we also making just a too big of a leap assumption that people be willing to pay for this premium, knowing people don't buy organic food? I mean,
people do buy organic.
I'm married into this attitude, but
people
if Aaron
do buy,
goes on vacation, I am buying white, normal, cheap eggs.
I was like, why is he getting racial about the chickens? Oh,
because all the ones she wants are brown for some reason.
Yeah. I'm saying
that still sounds racial, but go on.
Didn't make it any better. What I'm saying is I'm pushing back on that a little bit because I think people do pay a premium for organic or free range or pasture grain free, right?
But is it
this
enough?
Is the next level.
But I feel like if you look at like the world or America, like what percentage of people are buying, I'm curious what that number is.
I think it's a lot. It's got to be a lot because there's like a big market. There's whole, like I said, Whole Foods. There's a whole grocery store is built on that idea. So I think that now what could be true is that there isn't enough of a gray area. Like there's not that many people who are like, I'm a vegetarian. Like I can't be a vegetarian, but I do feel bad about eating animals. So this is like the perfect. That's right. That might be a slim customer base.
Yeah.
That part I'm willing to accept a little bit of criticism on. But
yeah, I think you might have to sell it to each individual customer like you are on the podcast now. Because upon just hearing it, it sounds like, oh my God, this sounds like Dr. Zhivago or whatever that, or Dr. Moreau or whatever that weird.
Yeah. Well, we're not like sewing on other parts to it's not like it's like a chicken monkey combo. I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is maybe what you do is you lie to people. You just say that you did this, but then you didn't really do it. Maybe that's
so just kill the animal.
Yeah, I do feel bad. I don't know about you, but it does bother me sometimes when I think of the animal. Not enough to get me to stop eating meat, but it does. Mm-hmm. There is a part of me that goes, that's sad that this animal had to die for me to eat this. And whenever I make this, most of the time I don't make that connection. Most of the time I'm eating meat, I don't actually think of an animal died for this, right?
Yeah.
But if I ever do, like if you watch a documentary or something, or people start talking about like the meat, the way they kill cows and stuff, I go, oh, that is kind of a bummer. Boy, wouldn't it be nice if I could still eat meat and not kill an animal?
Boom.
Boom.
Okay, so going back to the island of Dr. Moreau, let's say you're given these options. I'm going to shoot you in the head, or I'm going to cut off your arm, or I'm going to cut off your arm and I'm going to give you Tony's arm and put it on.
Yeah, but what do I have?
No. I'm going to give you this alligator's arm.
Just a tiny little arm, but it's like somewhat functional.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I knew that the alligator arm would work, I would take it. I don't want a non-functioning alligator. I don't want just one that's hanging there. Like, oh, this is my first time trying that. Turns out it's a little more complicated than I thought.
Turns out it's trickier than stapling it on to the hole.
I kind of thought it was like planting, a bush or something. I just thought once I put it on there, it'll take roots and everything will kind of figure itself out. I didn't understand that there's going to be all these nerves. When I got in there was a lot of little ligaments and things. It's kind of
What kind of a doctor are you?
well, the kind that practices on a private island. Weird Netflix movie procedures. I have a question about that Netflix movie. So when
Yes.
the platform that goes all the way to the bottom, do the
Mhm.
people who are eating, is the idea that the people who are eating from the top know that there's people below them, and that
Yes, they all do.
so
And
how much they
they
take
can
is
talk.
based?
And the thing is that you learned at some point during the movie is there is enough food if everyone rationed correctly. There's enough food, but it's like a commentary on I don't know. I don't give it. I mean, it was a
No,
terrible
you
movie.
almost got there. No, I think you almost got.
I mean,
to the
I don't
message.
know what it was. That's what
No.
I'm such a sucker for like because I read somewhere like, oh, the movie The Platform, you know, the ending, it just leaves it up for interpretation. What does it mean? And just that intrigue in my head was like, well, all right, this sounds interesting. I'll watch it. But I'm a really stupid person, so I never understand like what the point is of movies. So to me, it's literally, oh, not everyone got food. You know, I don't know what the statement was.
The point is, if those we should only be eating animals one wing at a time. No, the point is, it's like again, it's like wealth redistribute. It's like, yo, look, billionaires using all our resources, and meanwhile we have poor people dying in the streets. What if everybody had the same? Which is like what Quentin Dunbar was trying to do when he robbed that party and
It
paid
all
off the
comes
witnesses
together.
equally. It all comes together. See how I did
There
that?
there is a scene because you're supposed to like you know everyone below you is below like they're peons and you're supposed to just treat them like shit like they're nothing, even if you're one level above them. It's like you know you are scum to them and they are scum to you. Like that's just how it's explained to this new guy. And there's a scene where a guy's like, "Come on, I'm gonna throw a rope up. Help me get up here." And he's like, "Oh, all right. Should we help him? Yeah, let's help him." You know, and you know right away, well, this guy's about to be had. So he throws it in there like, all right, come on up. And he's like, all right, I'm up. And he climbs up and he's like, all right, give me your hand. And then all of a sudden an ass comes in the corner of the frame and shits on his face.
Oh my God.
So that's, you know, anyone listening to this, that might get someone to be like, I got to check that movie out.
I got to see that with the alternate angle.
Yeah.
I got to get the DVD commentary for the platform. That sounds like kind of a throwback movie. Those are the type of movies I would always rent at Blockbuster when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Those weird sort of low budget concept. There was this movie called The Cube or something.
That's exactly what it reminded me of.
Oh yeah, and they all wake up in a cube, and then they don't know what they
booby
are.
trapped.
Yeah, and then they go to another cube, and then it ends, and there's no way out, and they're all dead, and you're like, oh, that was fun.
Did you ever see Hypercube?
No, there's a Hypercube.
I think there's like two. There's like 2 or 3 Cube movies, but they shot that movie in literally one square.
Yeah, I could believe it. It looks like they shot that movie in one square in one day and wrote it
in 10 minutes
as they were shooting it.
It's an improv movie.
I totally would buy it. DVD commentary for that was like, yeah, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
It's so funny you say you saw that when you were little at Blockbuster, and I probably watched it 2 years ago. I was like, wow.
Right. I'm so advanced, you know. I was a real film buff when I was a kid watching The Cube. All right, buddy. Well, I don't know. So you're kind of with me on this. It seems like you were like playfully with me on this animal thing. I don't know how much I even believe it myself, but I didn't like how. Okay, here's what I don't like. I don't like. Maybe it's not a viable economic strategy to sell only parts of animals as long as the animal survives the procedure. But I didn't like being told like that's actually worse or less humane. It's not less humane than killing an animal and eating it. It can't be.
Yeah, that's a solid point.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. All right. I got the answer I was looking for.
I sincerely support you, but I think that you have this air of like, I don't know if you really do or if you're just playing on. Like, I do support you, but that's because I am not like, I don't care
about the animal.
I'm not saying it's a
right.
a good
Here's
thing. I'm
okay.
just
So
saying,
yeah,
sure.
we should make a distinction. Like I'm sort of joking about it actually being a viable, but where I am serious, I do think it would be better if you could create the world where that was the way. I think if you were an animal, you would prefer that to being killed. I think that's just common sense. And to fight me on that, I don't understand.
Yeah, I wonder, like, because the world could have just gone that way from the beginning, you know? Like, oh, hey,
Right.
look, we just found this buffalo. We don't need the whole thing. Let's just take a little piece. But then you gotta, you gotta look at that buffalo. That buffalo's looking at you like,
Yeah.
hey, remember when you were hungry Thursday? Whereas
It's
if you
very
kill it,
sad.
it's out of, it's like, oh, I don't have to think about that. I ate it and now
Right.
it's done.
Right. But then it will force everyone to know where their food comes from and to reckon with. So if you really like meat, that's okay. But here's, this is
Price.
what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I support that.
Okay.
I support it.
All right. All right. That's as close as I'm going to get. I'll have to take that. So that's it. That's the cavalry. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you. Real quick before we wrap it up, have you? So
Let's
you've
explore this
mentioned
deeper, please.
Real quick, real quick. Has anyone ever supported this that you've told us
No.
about? Okay, all right.
I haven't had this honestly. I thought apparently I told this to you before. I thought I had a new thought
on the ship.
Yeah, I didn't. I do not remember telling that to you. I swear I read this article only like a week ago or something, and I thought this was like a new genius idea I had. So I'm shocked that I've had this before, but it must have been rattling around. You get on those cruise ships, your brain melts away. So I have no memory. But no, I've brought it up to several people since, and no one has supported me. And my friend Mike, though, is the one that really irked me because he was saying how it's somehow less humane than what we do now. And it's like, well, it can't be less humane.
Yeah, it just seems like that because you got to look at it. If you kill it,
right?
Done.
It's harder for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See, there you go. But that's you being selfish.
That's true. I'm looking for reviews right now. That's why I'm looking off.
Oh
yeah.
We have. Oh yeah, we should discuss anything that's.
No, we don't.
No.
Maybe we'll edit this 5-second blip out.
No. We're leaving it in. That is fantastic.
That'll be our new segment where we check and find that there are none.
What an adorable, vulnerable moment for our little podcast to go, you know what? We should just live as we're taping, check to see how popular we are. Oh, still not very.
Well, tune in next week, both of you.
But please, for the love of God, leave a review and a comment with what you need backup on, and we'll talk.
Or if that's too tricky, just message our Facebook page or Instagram.
No, we want the comment.
Oh, we want I know. God. Yes, okay, leave the comment. Or no, leave the review.
Whatever. Anyway.
Isn't it better to get something, though, than nothing?
Why would that be
I'm
easier?
giving them an out. All right, here we go. It doesn't matter. Nobody commented. All right. When we quit this podcast, we should decide live on the air.
Yeah. No, I actually had that thought today in the shower. I was like, it would be really funny if like Rogan ended his podcast the way most do, where there's just no goodbye. They just did as the last one. He does one and then just quits.
The most successful podcast is just
millions of people like, where's the episode? He's like, oh, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I stopped.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
All right, thank you. I hope that you feel supported.
I kind of do. I feel like it's a little half-assed, but I'll take what I can get. You're the most supportive of anybody so far, so
I'll take it.
I'm very supportive of yours. I'm 100% behind you on both of yours today. So
I don't know how I could have seemed more supportive of that last weird one.
You painted a very sympathetic picture for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. That's the show.
All right, that is
Thank you, everybody. Leave a review, all that stuff we were talking about, so we don't have more sad moments.
Yeah.
on the show where we check
Next
for comments.
week's episode might be a long one when we have to address all these this
of
flood of
requests.
reviews and support requests.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. Bye, everybody.
All right, Cavalry out.